Rod Gilmore. Didn't really get to Rod Gilmore. Rod Gilmore, listen, I know there's some people that aren't just, you're not for everybody. I mean, I know some people don't like Bill Walton, whatever. It's because of the cadence, all that stuff. People like Rod Gilmore are an atrocity to the profession. I don't care about anything he analyzes on the field. Rod Gilmore goes into every game butchering names left and right, and the problem is that these schools go over it with him. Last year, he could not figure out how to pronounce Noah Fafita's name. Here's a hint. It sounds exactly the way that it's spelled. This year, the first time he tried saying Tetaroa McMillan, it was absolutely crazy. But still, the worst abomination is Quail Conley. And it was over and over, over and over again. I got it over and over again. It was terrible. Quail Conley. There is an I on there. It is clearly not Quail. Sure. This is just, joking aside, this is so disrespectful to players because a lot of these guys are not going to play in the NFL. A lot of these guys have family that are sitting around the TV watching, and they're hearing this guy, this clown, butcher their names left and right. It's terrible.
It's offensive, and I don't think from what I understand, he's a prick. I'm just going to say it like it is, but I don't think he cares. Like like the SID sits with you on meetings. So the way it goes is they come out. They get out the day before a game, usually, maybe 2 days. Then you sit with the SID, the head coach, the coordinator, sometimes a couple players. And, from there, they tell you everything you need to know. And so you're either just not listening to them or you just don't care enough to, it's offensive.
And both of them, it was Teratora McMillan or whatever. That's the other thing.
This is the same ones on ESPN during Big 12 Media Day, Mike. Remember, they misspelled like 3 names on the screen?
And that's the thing. This cannot happen. I asked the GOAT, Brian Jeffries, one time. I said, how are you so good? And he's like, well, and he's pulling all that humble stuff that we don't like. Like Brian's not good. And he's like, well, the first thing I do is I look at the pronunciation of names. He said, because that's something that you don't want to mess up. Duh. It's terrible. And this clown does it every single time. And you even talked, this is your scoop, not mine. You've talked to 2 people that have had to work with him, and they both said that he's a jerk.
Yeah, and it's bad when you're criticizing someone for misspelling names. Or missaying names, because you're the king at that.
I spend my life mispronouncing names, but not intentionally, though. This guy's terrible. Hello, Kevin Thomas. Oh, look at
Hello,
that
everybody.
Hat, by the way.
Hello, everybody. Yes,
that hat, very sexy hat.
But I just wanted to jump in here because I agree, and I think that what's going on with Rod Gilmore is kind of like symbolic of what's going on with the product as a whole for ESPN. I think that, I think they had Dan Pierre going to he's as being from Saguaro, Arizona, which doesn't exist. He went to Saguaro High School.
Oh, the Saguaro, Arizona.
So it's like it just takes a second to double check that, and I think that the quality control over there is not what it used to be. And it is really disappointing, especially when it's your team, your players, but let alone imagine it being like your son or your brother. Like that's their one shot at being on national TV, probably. So
well, right, and that's the thing too, is that these are guys. Most of these guys are not going to play in the NFL, so they've got to, this is where they are going to hear their name. I mean, it's like this. How about if the prodigious Kevin Thomas was on there and he was calling you, I don't know, K-Fawn or something? Yeah. Your parents would probably rightfully be like, no, that is not his name. His name is Kevin. You can look at how it is spelled. I do not get it.
Yeah, it seems so simple. I don't really understand why. And always, I'm not going to be that guy, but this is the AZ Wildcats podcast. It does always seem to be Arizona, right? Like it does always seem to be Tetaroa McMillan, Noah Fafita, Quail Conley. Like it just seems to be our guys. They would never get Quinn Ewers wrong, even though Ewers is a weird name. They would never get that wrong.
Exactly. And let's be honest here. T-Mac is also like the best wide receiver in the country. This is somebody you should know. This isn't some guy. This isn't like the third string safety or anything like that. And this guy does it every single time. And I remember last time I was up in the press box and I was next to Shelby Shear, and Shelby Shear went up to the ESPN guy. This was last year. This was a great real-time moment. Shelby Shear went up to him and she said, why is he not pronouncing Noah Fafita's name right? And he's like, I don't know. And then she's like, well, he's been doing it the entire game. And he's like, well, I'll talk with him. Dude, this was at halftime.
Like, by the way, nothing changed.
Right. Nothing changed. Literally nothing changed. Either way, Rod Gilmore, Not a fan. I do not, and again, I just not a fan of what that is. End rant, anyways.
It feels like if Pat McAfee can get it right, can't Rod Gilmore get it right? And that's all I gotta
dude,
say
exactly. But you know what? Some people just want to be putzes, and he's being a putz. All right. So either way, I got that out of my system. I'm glad that I got that out. Rod Gilmore, when I see you, there will be trouble. I guarantee you.
I'm sure he'll do another Arizona game this year.
I'm sure he will do another Arizona game, and he's probably here's the thing. Everybody is open game for him. If you have the football, like if Kean Burnett catches touchdowns, there is no way his name is ever being pronounced right. No way.
Correct.
We all silly like the mayor.